Salam everyone, which means hello everyone. This episode is about Iran. Before we start our conversation with our guest, Pouyan from Iran, I just want to say thank you for listening to our podcast. So, thank you so much. A little bit about the country. Iran counts among the oldest continuous civilizations in the world. Iran has been home to settlements and civilizations dating as far back as 4000 BC. The majority of Iran's population is younger than 30 years old, so over 60% of the total population in Iran is under 30 years old. There are not that many countries where I can speak in Tajik, the language that we speak here in Tajikistan. Maybe it's some parts of Afghanistan, Uzbekistan, and Iran. So if I go there, we will be able to communicate with each other because they speak Farsi, we speak Farsi Dari. So that's pretty cool, where you are able to speak your own language. So let's learn more about Iran and its culture from our guest, Pouyan. Salam, Pouyan.
Salam. How are you?
We're doing great. What about you?
I'm good. Fine, thanks.
Yeah, it's so nice to talk to you. This is the first time when we talk in our own language, I mean in Tajik, and you'll still understand us.
but now we are speaking in English.
Other people will not understand.
Yes,
Yeah,
right.
yeah. You also said salam. Is it the way you greet each other in Iran? Do you say salam?
Yes, we say salam or durud. Most of the time we continue with hal shoma chetore, means how are you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, in our country, when we, after we say salam, we say shmo chkhel, shmo druzmi, like how are you? And
Yes.
you don't need to respond to this question. How about in Iran? Do you respond? Do you answer?
Normally we say yeah, like you, exactly like Tajikistan. Yeah.
So, Pouyan, could you please introduce yourself?
I am Pouyan. This is my name. My surname is Moghadam. I'm tour guide, but just now I didn't have any tour for 2 years because of COVID-19. Before that, I was really a tour guide in Silk Road. Each year, I had one tour from Iran to China. And because of these tours, I had to pass some countries like Central Asia, like China, anyway. And in other part of the years, I had another tour in Iran. Before 10 years ago, 12 years ago, I was a civil engineer, but since 12 years ago, I changed my job to tour guiding. Yeah.
Oh, nice. That's how we met each other, right? When you were in Tajikistan.
Yes, I had a tour. I saw you in one of my Silk Road tour. I think I saw you in Doshambe, and after that we went to Panjakant.
Yeah, several lakes.
Yeah, Seven Lake, half cool.
Okay, so let's get back to the greeting. So, how do people usually greet each other? I mean, do they shake hands? And what about women? Could you please talk
Yes,
about this?
yes, I know. You know, in Iran from 1979, we had a revolution. It was Islamic Revolution.
Yeah.
And because of Islamic Revolution, some rules in the public places changed. Like, for example, just now, if you go to some governmental institution, or for example, in some places that belong to government, it is forbidden to shake hands with ladies. But in normal places, in other places, in common places, it belongs to the ladies. Sometimes if they shaking, you have to shake. Or for example, if they hugging, you are hugging. It belongs to the position. It would be different. Yeah.
What do you think might surprise foreigners if they visit Iran?
Uh, at first, if they come to Tehran, they will see a very, very big city. The population of Tehran at day and night would be different. At day, it is 16 million people, and at night, it would be
Wow.
12 million people. Yeah, it is a very, very big population. I think one thing that the guest would be surprised is the difference between what they heard about Iran from media and what they will see in
Mm,
reality actually in Iran, because the media completely show Iran as a very different area. Like, for example, all of the people in the world, they expect by traveling to Iran, they will travel to a place of war, terrorist, or something like this. But when they travel to Iran, they see that this place is same as other places in the world, and the people is very famous because of hospitality, and the
hmm.
city is not very traditional. For example, many of the people they expect that they can see some camel or something like this, but the people that move the transport with the car, the modern car, and same as other places of the world. Something is different and something is similar, but anyway, I think because of the media, most of the time, the expectation of the guest would be different by what they will see in Tehran and Iran. And they surprised because of these differences.
Mm, yeah, absolutely. When I was doing the research and I read some articles and I was watching the videos, most of them were Americans. They all said that it's so different, and they were so surprised by the hospitality of people, and they loved that, and they said they felt so um in love.
Safe.
Yeah, yeah, very safe. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Wow, that's good. And what about the outfit? What would be a proper outfit for women, for men?
Yeah, in after 1990, after 1979, as I told you, after the revolution, because the government changed to Islamic rule,
Mm-hmm.
and the government forced the lady to cover with hijab. Hijab is maybe a scarf or a chador, a piece of textile that they have to wear. And when you want to go to a street or university or everywhere in out of your home, as a lady, you have to wear this kind of clothes.
I see. And what about men?
For the men, it's not very different with other places of the world, but you don't allow to wear short trousers, except short trousers, other kind of clothes you can wear, no problem.
Uh, so we have some other questions, but you can't trust everything you read on internet. So we would like to fact check some of them. So we'll just read them and you say true or false, okay?
Yes.
So there's a tradition in Iran to refuse money. For example, if you are a foreigner and if you pay for something for a taxi driver or a seller, they might refuse to accept the money because of the hospitality. They don't want to take your money.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. It's true. Yes.
Hmm, okay. Wow. And Iranian men don't wear ties because it's something Western. Is that true?
Mm, I think it's false. Well, you know, can I
Okay.
explain or no?
Yeah,
Sure,
yeah,
sure.
sure.
Yeah, if you want to go to, for example, a wedding ceremony or some places like this, it's very polite to wear, for example, tie. But if you want to go to
Mm,
a governmental institution, it's because the
mm-hmm.
in governmental institution is not allowed. Because of that, it's not good to wear, for example, tie. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, the next one. Marriage is expensive and the government provides funding for weddings because it's expensive.
Yes, and yes, it's true.
Just for us to have an idea, like half of it or how much?
Um, it's Year by year would be different because in Iran, our commercial situation is so variable, it's very different. Then year by year would be different.
I see. Hmm. Okay, and the last one is Friday is a day off. Is it right?
Exactly. Yes.
So it's Friday and Saturday.
No.
You have
Thursday and Friday are off day.
wow, and you start your work on Saturday
Exactly.
until Wednesday.
Until Wednesday. Yes.
Wow.
But in some places, in some companies, Thursday is a work day too. But many of the places, like university and, for example, the schools, they are closed in
Hmm.
Thursday.
Well, I can understand why Friday because of the praying, but what about Thursday? What's that so special about Thursday?
Maybe because it's very interesting question that why in other countries Sunday is a closed day of the week. You know,
Hmm. Yeah.
traditionally, historically, for the Muslim people, Friday was the closed day. But later, because in colonization time, when the European government started to went to other places of the world, uh, their Sunday closed day spread expanded in other places. But in Iran,
Hmm.
we kept this the traditional situation, and we are closed in Friday. And the Saturday, traditionally, it was the first of the week. It was not closed day. We didn't change the
Mm.
yeah.
So you didn't change it. We changed it here.
Yeah, in
Oh.
many
Hmm.
many places around of Iran, like for example, Central Asia, Caucasus, or for example, Turkey or other places. If you look at, for example, 100 years ago, 200 years ago, close day of the week was similar to Iran, but now they changed it.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Wow, that's interesting.
You're welcome.
Um, okay, so if you could choose three aspects of your culture to put in a time box for the future, what would you put in it?
Oh, hard question. Anyway, um,
So many
yeah,
things.
yeah, I think one of those three would be our language, Farsi, because I think Farsi it's very interesting language because before English, nowadays English is connection language of the world. Before English, Farsi was a connection language in Silk Road. I mean that all of the countries in Silk Road, from China to Europe, when they want to send a letter to each other, they used Farsi as their connection language. And for 1,000 years, this language used as writing language and culture language. And because of that, it's very interesting language.
Hmm.
Because of that, I like to put this language in my time box for future. Another one, I think, is Nowruz. Nowruz. You know Nowruz because you have Nowruz
Hmm.
too.
Yeah, yeah,
Navruz, yeah.
We have this ceremony as a spring equinox in all of the central part of the the west part of the Asia, like Central Asia, like north of India, Pakistan, Afghanistan,
Hmm.
Iran, Turkey, Iraq, all of this area. They have this ceremony, and this ceremony is belong to first of the spring, and the equinox is very important sign because it's a sign of justice, the sign of equality. It means that same as a scale, and because of that, is a morality sign too. Because in Nowruz, the length of day is equal by length of night.
Hmm.
Last generations, they wanted to say to us that the scale and justice would be interesting and would be good sign for life. And even Nowruz is a start of life another time in spring too, in North Pole of the Earth.
Just for some of our listeners who have never heard of Navruz, we celebrated 21st of March. So
Yes.
the shortest way to explain it, it's like our new year, right?
For us is New Year, but for you in Tajikistan it's only ceremony, isn't it?
Uh,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
it's celebrated like a ceremony, but people say that it's like a new year
Uh-huh.
also.
Yeah, for
But it's
Iranian
not that
is
big as a new year. So
yeah, for Iranian it's
yeah.
completely New Year because our New Year is not it doesn't start by January. Start by the 21st of March in Iranian calendar, and because of that, is our New Year. Is
Mhm.
completely our New Year. Anyway,
Yeah. And the meaning is literally the new day, right?
no
Navruz,
Rus. Yes,
new
no
day.
means new. Rus means day. Yes, exactly.
Hmm.
Last one would be, I think Shahnameh. Shahnameh is a mythological book of Iranian,
Yeah, yeah.
and I think Shahnameh is same as mythology and history of Iranian, and I think it's interesting to put in my time box too.
Yeah, Firdausi, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So there's something that we've learned and we were so surprised. It's about carpets. So they make mistakes intentionally to show their belief that only God is perfect. So they make mistakes on purpose.
Mm. Interesting question. You know, it's not only belong to carpet. For example, in our architecture is similar too. For example, 500 years ago, we had a king. His name was Shah Abbas. And Shah Abbas decided to make 1,000 caravanserai in area of Iran. But finally, he constructed 999 caravanserai, not 1,000. Why? Because I believe of himself, 1,000 is a very complete number, is the number of God. And
Wow.
because of that, he decided to construct only 999 of caravanserai. In carpet would be similar.
Ah.
And even carpet, the symbol of carpet is a very symbolical design in Iran. Most of the carpet in Iran, if you look at for example, the design, you can see a center in it.
Mhm.
For example, a flower in the center. And this flower in the center is the sign of God too. And even carpet, most of the carpet show the paradise, want to show the paradise with some symbolic flower, with symbolic shapes. And yes, it's right completely. That some of them they put some mistake in it to show that it is handmade, not made by God.
Wow, that's interesting. And I guess it's not something that I mean, Hassan and I could see because uh, for us, I think we'll be still,
it's still perfect for us.
yeah, it will still look perfect. We will not be able to see that. Is there any other areas where you make mistakes on purpose? I mean, like carpets, maybe some buildings.
I remember many building too. For example, if you travel to Iran, one of the city that is very famous, very interesting is Isfahan. Isfahan was our last capital in 400 years ago. And in this city, we have Jame Mosque, or Cathedral Mosque. This cathedral mosque is very, very glazed, very beautiful, and you can see some carving on the stone over the column. The carving is so beautiful. For example, you can imagine that the main part of the mosque have a big there is a big room, and four side of this big room we have four column. Okay, three
Hmm.
of this column is completely designed and carved. But one of them is completely smooth, without any painting, without anything. Designer told that I wanted to say my job is not finished because the finished job is only for God.
Wow.
Yeah, and you can see this is the archetype that you can see in many of the artists in Iran.
Mhm.
You know, they want to say that God is artist and we are artists too, but it's very different between our art and the God art,
Yeah.
between our creation and the God creation.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking about Tajik people because to make something perfect is not, it's a big challenge. It's not about Tajiks. So I guess if they learn about this
Approach,
trick,
yeah.
about this approach, they would say the same thing, like they didn't do that perfect intentionally because yeah, it will be an excuse for them, right? Yeah, they would just use it as an excuse.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Something that would be useful for foreigners to know before they go to Iran, about the currency. I heard that it's confusing because you have two systems, Rial and Tuman. Can you explain that?
Oh, yes, of course. At first, let me I explain that in Iran we have a very high inflation.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
it means that our money year by year become cheaper and cheaper. Yeah, because of our economy situation anyway. Originally, our money was real, but later, because real became very cheap, they used the 10 real as a toman. Toman is a 10 real.
Mm.
Yeah, but officially we have to use real because the name of our money is real. Because of that, over the note you can read the number by real. But normally, when the people want to buying or selling something, they use toman. It means that they omit 1 0 of the amount of the note, and they use toman because it would be easier for trading. Yeah.
Yeah.
Could I
So,
respond it?
uh-huh. Yeah, yeah. Will you be able to see that, for example, if you go to a cafe, they will write like T, like Tuman or Rial? How can you see that?
Um, all the time we work with toman just now, not with real.
Uh-huh.
Real is only used for writing, not for
Oh, I
speaking, not
see.
for
So if you ask the price of, let's say, a pan, if they say 1,000, so it means Tuman.
exactly 1,000 means toman, not but 1,000 toman. In fact, it is 10,000 real. You know, but nobody use 10,000 real. All the time they use 1,000 toman.
Oh, I see. Wow. It's good to know that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and I'm curious about your main food in Iran. It's osh. When you were in Tajikistan, you tried our osh. It's very different
Exactly.
osh,
Yeah,
right?
completely. Yeah, but let me explain an interesting thing. You know, ash in Tajikistan. What is ash in Tajikistan? Ash is the rice. The main part of the ash is rice, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
In Tajikistan. You most of the time you mix rice with meat, with carrot, with for example onion, chickpea, or something like this, and you cook all of them together and you make ash.
Right.
But in Iran, ash is same as soup. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why? Why? Because originally, in all of our traditional ash, we had rice too, but not a big amount of rice. For example, it was same as soup, but they used a little rice in it too. Ash is a food with a rice. Then in Iran and in your country, the meaning of ash is similar, but in your country, the ash is very same as your ash, but our ash is same as soup.
What is the best time to visit your country?
You know, Iran is a four-season country, and it's belong to your goal. If you want to go to mountain, I think summer. Summer is the best time for hiking in mountain. But if you want to go to desert, I think winter would be better.
Mm-hmm.
And even spring and summer, spring and fall would be good for other parts of Iran or many parts of Iran. Then you can travel to Iran in different season.
Yeah, so it depends what you want to see, experience.
Exactly. If I want to explain, for example, when in winter in Tehran, the temperature is, for example, -1, -2. In south of Iran, next to Persian Gulf, the temperature would be, for example, 25 or 21. And it's very good temperature for visiting the area, but it's very cold in Tehran.
Wow, it's very different.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and so now we know how to say hi, it's salam, and how to say bye.
Khuda Hafiz.
Khuda Hafiz. Oh, I think in Afghanistan it was the same. Khuda Hafiz. Right? Yeah.
Yes. Or Bedrud. We can say Bedrud too. Durud and Bedrud. Salam and Khuda Hafiz. Both of them.
Khuda Hafiz. Okay. Yeah, it's easy to remember. Sounds good. All right, Pouyan, thank you so much for taking the time. We really appreciate it, and we learned a lot. It sounds really interesting. I mean, we would love to visit Iran one day, and to be able to speak the language. Farsi. I mean, I'm really curious if they would understand me, because it's still a little bit different, our language.
Yeah, because the accent is different. Anyway, I hope to see you in Iran, and I invite you to come to here.
Yeah, thank you so much. Khuda Hafiz. Khuda Hafiz.
Khuda Hafiz. Khuda Hafiz.
Boom.